We did the loot, and now we're...
So yeah, I mean, in our last session, we ended off, you guys had just finished a very difficult combat with some sort of caster or
We did the loot.
acolyte or something that had like stony armor and headdress. And then he was backed up by a bunch of cultists that he either is in charge of or they work for him. And you did manage to finish them off. Unfortunately, when you did leave this room, opening the door into the short hallway, there was no sign of him. The only thing you did see in here was the cowering form of... Oh, what's his flap?
Baragustus.
Baragustus, yes. So we'll pick up right from there. Baragustus is cowering on the floor. He's down on his knees. He's got his hands over his heads. Over his heads? Just one head.
All right. Let's assess everyone's health here. How we looking?
I need some good berries.
How would the DM want to play it if Taladar's not done and wants to kill this guy? Like, I assume you want to give people a chance to stop me, but I'm not done. This guy needs to go.
Yeah, so, Taladar comes to... He's right in the entranceway. He comes marching up to this guy, sword drawn. It is clear to anyone who is looking that he clearly intends to end this man's life.
Whoa, Taladar.
I'm gonna take one look at Aranor and swing at this guy.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Wait. Is that just the little dude that kept telling us, no, you can't go in there, the stones are not ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
that is correct.
Why do you want to kill that dude? He's just the doorman.
I mean, Taladar's not in a mood to argue. He wants to finish this and wipe these guys out.
Oh,
so
okay, let me get this right. You are not beyond killing this measly little doorman, but you hire me to do your dirty work to retrieve an item that I could probably pickpocket?
I rolled the wrong thing. That was supposed to be my rapier, but it's the same roll. So I missed somehow. How did I miss?
But I was gonna
yeah.
say, can I do anything to intervene or stop you?
Well, yeah, listen, I wanted to throw the dice, but I don't want to make it so that, so that it's unfair that I just get to do it. I just wanted
so
to
I
see
would
what
say,
I would roll.
seeing
so.
him clearly swinging out towards this guy, Moss, you could intervene and either grab his arm or, put your back to him to prevent it. And that with that shitty roll that he did, that is what causes him to miss.
Yes, that is what I do, I suppose.
Okay.
You could grapple me. Right? That would,
Or push him out
Hold
of the way,
there.
or any
We
number of things.
need to know what this person knows.
Taladar's just going to stare at you angrily. You know what? I'm going to let the dice decide what he does, because let's see.
I'm sure that this poor guy's sitting there thinking, I'm not getting paid enough for this.
No, you know what? He is angry and is going to try and struggle out of your grasp.
So everyone's
Okay.
got their eyes looking at Taladar.
Mhm.
No one's paying attention to Tox.
Oh, shit.
God.
So, yeah, you two make a contested strength check.
It's athletics for a grapple check.
Am I able to try and grab him too, or is it too much
Nope,
going
you
on?
absolutely can. Yep.
Yeah. Join in. Yeah, I definitely don't want it to be like unfair. Like Taladar just walks over and kills the guy without you guys having a chance to stop him, right? Because he is going to keep trying.
This is basically a reaction, so I can't do guidance, right?
No. There's no time. Moss, you're sort of at a bit of a loss for what to do, and you weren't counting on the sheer amount of rage in Taladar, so you're not really doing much to hold him back, but Aranor coming up behind him easily grabs around his upper arms and across his chest and holds him in place.
Hold, Taladar. We need some information from this person.
Let me go!
Oh, there goes Tox. Never- God damn it.
Are you swinging at this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 points of damage. He is bleeding out.
He got fucking grunged.
He's gonna get poisoned
Yeah,
too.
and he could get poisoned too if he doesn't pass the roll.
What does he need?
Con save.
Con save. Okay.
Oh boy.
I rolled a 13.
So he saves it.
Okay. So this guy is currently bleeding out. And if somebody doesn't step in the next 6 seconds, he will die.
Do we have a combat initiative for this, or how does this work?
No, just let me know what you want to do. Aranor's currently got a good grip on Taladar. You know, Starsha's sort of still a little bit farther back in the room. You're standing in the doorway. Tox is clearly in the hall, having just run this guy through.
And he's bleeding out. So, and I see he's bleeding out. Can I do a healing word on him and then tackle Tox as like kind of bonus action, or?
Yeah, I would let you do that.
Do you have spell slots left, Bri?
I do. Sorry, no, I don't have healing word. Shoot, that's what I want to pick up. I guess
You could dump a healing potion down his face. You could
I could do cure wounds on him.
do cure wounds on him, or you could take the time to do a medicine check to stabilize him.
Yeah, well, that's assuming a Tox isn't
Right.
to my side fucking wailing on him, right? Actually, can I even get to him? Because I got Taladar
Yeah.
and Tox my way.
You're not in a combat initiative. There's no hurry other than it's, whatever you're going to do has to be done quick before he dies.
All right, so I'm gonna move up there and gonna do a cure wounds on him.
Yep.
And trying to motion Tox stop.
So you bring him back from the brink. So he is still in, rough shape, but he's not in danger of dying. Please, we were only doing what we were told.
Good fellows. Let's take stock. I know you're frustrated and angry, but we will get more from him alive than dead.
Taladar is just gonna eventually, after 10 seconds or so, just go limp. Sword drops to his side. Put me down.
Do I have your
Mhm.
word you want to attack him?
For now.
I'm just remembering being a kid, and like my brother would get angry and take swings at me, and I'd pin him down and hold him, and are you calm yet? Are you calm yet? Are you calm yet? And the second I would let my brother go, back to
That's what
fisticuffs.
I'm thinking.
I mean, you can make an insight check if you want.
No, I will let you go. I'll let Taladar go.
And Taladar will just he'll pace a few steps away and just lean back against the rock and slide to the ground.
The rock puts his arm around you and comforts you.
Oh.
Says they're there.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Yeah, so this guy is now sort of sitting up on his knees with his hands held out. Please, we were only doing as instructed.
What's Tox doing?
I'm gonna
Yes.
kick him.
Yeah, go ahead. You kick him hard enough that he's down to just barely hanging on again.
I
Well, so I note that I note that it was a kick rather than a sword, so I kind of just give Tox a side glance and are you done?
Uh-oh.
Rip.
How much does he take?
Three more.
He is unconscious.
Tox!
What? I didn't stab him.
What are you doing?
He's bothering me. He's crying.
Can I slam my last good berry into his mouth and just like get him to like munch on it?
Yep. So you
okay.
slam the last good berry in his mouth. His eyes flutter open, but he doesn't wake up. So it's clear that he's alive and doesn't seem to be in danger of dying, but he remains unconscious. Who has the highest perception here?
I have +5.
+3.
+1.
+5.
Yeah, it's probably Starsha and Moss. Both of you give me a perception check.
Without guidance, or do I have time to?
No,
I assume I don't have time to do guidance.
If you have to ask, you don't have time.
Okay.
Yeah, the way guidance works in a way if it's something that you plan on doing.
Yeah, that's fair. Just asking.
Yeah.
That's kind of I was treating it last week. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah. So Moss doesn't really notice, but Starsha has more of an eye for these things. And sitting in the corner across from this guy, sort of at Moss's feet, you notice a handful of strange-looking objects. You didn't notice them there on the way in, and you don't know if they've maybe fallen off of one of the bodies, or perhaps fell off of Larak. But you step forward to pick them up, and in your hand, they're about 4 inches long, and they kind of look like 2 elongated triangles stuck together at their base. There are 4 of them in total. Do you show them to the group?
Yes, maybe somebody knows what they are.
Sorry, there's
Showing-
four kind of a lot.
Yeah, they're about 4 inches long and about 2 inches wide at their thickest in the center. They don't weigh very much. And they're a dark sort of metal. And as she holds them out to the group, everybody make a history check.
Ah, yes, caltrops. Ninjas have been here.
They are definitely not caltrops.
I don't know what a caltrop is.
All right, in this case,
A lot
I
of
feel like guidance
11s.
is appropriate.
Boy, you guys are dumb. All it took was a 10, thank goodness. Those of you who have been around places, you know, Aranor has traveled, Starsha, you're not quite sure how long she's been around. Taladar has definitely traveled. You recognize these as trade bars. Specifically, these look like trade bars from Mirabar.
Ah!
Each city, each major city, their trade bars all have a very distinct shape or pattern or stamp to them. and you know that this is the style that they use in Mirabar.
Would those of us passing the history check know what their value is?
No, not necessarily. You're not even sure what metal it is.
Hmm.
And how many are there?
There's 4.
So these people are responsible for the kidnapping of the caravan we need.
Or at least involved.
Involved. Yes.
I mean, there weren't nearly enough bodies here. I can't. It's possible they dumped them somewhere else, but there are 3 more, hopefully, in the constable's custody on the surface. Perhaps we can get some answers from them and this one here.
Yes, we'll take him with us.
As you guys are talking, down the hall, you hear voices and light approaching.
Oh no.
And after just a few seconds, you see coming through the door at the end of the hall, the constable. And
Hey.
3 of his lackeys. What is going on down here?
Not much here but dead men and questions. Do you still have the 3 from before?
Yes, we've got them locked up for now in the butcher's cellar.
Taladar will walk up to Baragustus and just kind of kick his shoulder with his boot. Add this one to the lot of them. Maybe keep them separate from each other. We should question them. There is... And he just kind of looks around at the strangeness of this place. Something strange going on here.
Clearly, yes.
He points with his sword at the bodies behind him. We barely made it out of this fight. And there are probably more. Down a tunnel beyond, there's a pile of bodies. Looks like some who may have gone missing.
He nods to 2 of his men, and they head off in that direction. There was a boy in the other room, just sitting there. I believe it's
Mind the rats!
I believe it's the wagon maker's boy. I've sent him off.
His dad covered him in rocks.
That's how cruel. Well, let's get this man out of here and locked up with the others.
Hey,
And he
Dark.
motions to his other lackey to take him with him.
Darkstar, can I do divine sense on the constable?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, so your eyes momentarily flash with a golden light as you reach out with your divine senses, trying to pick up anything that is an aberration or fiendish in nature, and you get nothing.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Not evil, just incompetent.
So Constable Harbuck and his subordinate begin hauling this man out back the way they came. It looks at this point like your work in here, at least, is done. But maybe you have some clues now as to where to look next. What would you like to do?
So it's not worth trying to search around these rooms?
No,
I would
search
say
in here. Because where did the guy go that dropped the cage on Deebs' head?
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and look around in this room. It is dimly lit. There is still a lantern sitting in the middle of the floor. I don't know if Aranor still has a torch.
Yes.
I got my light cantrips.
Yeah.
I can light a rock.
Starsha has her globe too. If she wants.
And night vision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Starsha and Taladar both have night vision. I would say Starsha hasn't figured out what her activation word is for the globe yet.
Ah, okay.
You do notice her from time to time pull it out of her bag and like talk to it. You don't know if she's just trying out random different words, but she hasn't figured it out yet. So everybody,
It
give me
speaks to
give me investigation checks.
Oof. Yeah. I ask everyone, is anyone severely hurt? Is anyone in need of healing?
I wouldn't mind a heal.
10 from us.
I'm not dead.
I can heal 15 points with my lay on hands, so
I am going to make some good berries. And do you guys still have good berries from the previous night too?
No, I think they
Mm.
disappeared.
Yeah, I think the good berries you gave us were from our last night camping, so they would be gone. Is that right?
I ate mine, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
I-
think
I
they'd be
don't-
gone.
I have 2 in my inventory, but I'm pretty sure that you made them before we set camp, after we cleared out the Necromancer's Cave.
Um,
No, I thought he made more.
I'm trying to do it every night, but I will just
Nope.
make more.
Well, in that case, I'm going to eat the 2 that I have, and I'm going to call it good on hit points. I did roll a
Starsha,
natural 20 for a 25 on my
I do have
investigation.
2 good berries.
Eat them.
How much does each of them heal?
1.
Okay.
how low are you, Starsha? How many points do you need?
Right now, I'm at 5 out of 26, but if I eat those 2, then it's gonna be 7.
All right. Is anyone else super low like that?
No.
I got 10 out of 25, but I think we'll be fine.
15 out of 21.
Well, I pump all 15 into Starsha then.
Shit, I deleted Moss.
Just Control Z.
So 15 hit points back, Starsha.
Those new
Curious
dice.
what that looks like. The rock is
Thank
only
you.
10.
when you roll a natural 20, something cool happens with those new dice, by the way.
So yeah, you guys are, healing up a little bit, and the rest of you who are in a little bit better shape are making your way around the room. And for the most part, it's dark, it's dusty, and kind of unremarkable, except Taladar notices in the lower right corner of the room an odd gap in the rock. And pushing on it, the door, it's a handleless door from this side, swings silently open.
I still have good berries, so going to pass out another 2 good berries to everyone. I guess actually maybe I shouldn't do 2 per. If anyone needs a healing. I should give it two per.
Do you hand a couple to Taladar?
I am going to hand.
What would Moss do? Not what would Bride do?
I'm trying to think of an appropriate action.
While Moss is trying to decide whether he wants to give berries to Taladar or not, Taladar pushes this door open soundlessly, and beyond it, it looks like it is a small, unremarkable pathway. Similar to the one that led to the north when you first fell or climbed down here.
I've got an escape tunnel over here. Seems this may be where our trap master went.
All right, I tell everyone to pause for a moment. Some good berries to give out. I kind of grab Taladar by the shirt and look him in the eye and, "You are a fool." And then kind of side glance talks, "I thought better of you."
He'll just narrow his eyes at you, but won't say anything.
But yes, everyone gets 2 good berries. Oops. Yeah.
So, opening this door, what you see with your dark vision is a short way into the tunnel. It looks like it's partly blocked with debris, some broken beams, loose rock, other various, bits and pieces of canvas and things like that. And it looks like it's made to look like this tunnel had collapsed. But there is very clearly, to your eyes anyway, a path through the mess. And you figure if the man in charge of the traps disappeared, that he most likely made his way out here. Would you like to exit from here?
Yeah, not without backup. So,
We just come from a long fight. Can we pray take a rest before we venture down this hall?
You can see light at the end of this hall.
So it looks like it's probably the exit then,
Mhm.
Bri. Or boss.
Let's find out where it goes.
Okay.
I can take lead.
So Aranor makes his way down the tunnel, and it's only about 30, maybe 40 feet before you come to what looks like slapped together wooden slats. There are a couple of cloaks hanging on a hook right beside the door. And as you push it open and step out, it looks like you're inside a wooden shed. The door to which is slightly ajar. And from the looks of it, you are in the wood yard behind Whalver's Wagon Works.
I'm going to take one of those cloaks and suggest that we, as a party, take the rest of them, like the other one here, plus whatever other ones were hanging up at the other entrance. If there are more of these folk about, these cloaks might come in handy.
And I will put you back on the town map. All right. So yeah, you come out behind the Wagon Works, which is it's one of the buildings in the center of town, close to the center of town. I believe it is the one labeled 16.
Those do look like wagons.
I propose that we rest up before we continue our investigations.
Yeah, it is probably... You guys set out shortly after dawn. Oh no, you rested last night in the inn, did you not?
Yes.
And when you woke in the morning, that's when the trembling started. So yeah, I would say that you went down the sinkhole early-ish morning, 10 maybe. It's probably closer to 1 or 2 now. So yeah, you guys can definitely either go to the inn, go to the tavern, take it easy, get something to eat, maybe ask some more questions, speak to the constable, etc., etc. But for now, you have exited, you're back on the surface. Where would you like to go?
We should perhaps find a quiet place and plan out what our next actions are. We have some people to question. A night's rest might help. But there are others. We have names. A list of names, and those people might be in the wind if we wait too long.
I cannot believe I'm going to suggest this, but I could use a bath.
You did have a bath this morning, did you not?
Yeah,
Or
it's
was
only been
Tox
like
the
6
only one?
hours.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, but we're all covered in
Actually,
dirt and our own blood.
Actually, and Moss didn't actually have a bath. He chose not
Oh,
to.
that's right.
We should get lunch.
Yeah, I mean, feel free to split up. You guys in town, there's no need really to worry about splitting the party. If you had different objectives you wanted to deal with. So, for instance, if Moss wanted to go for a bath and Tox just wanted to go and get something to eat at the inn, that's fine. What would the rest of you like to do?
Moss is going to go to the inn and get some food to go and have a bath.
All right.
Teledar and Tox, let's have some lunch. Let's speak.
Are you guys all heading to the inn then?
Starsha, are you going with us?
Yeah.
So you guys make your way down the road towards the inn, and on the way, you notice that several of the townsfolk nod and wave to you. A handful come up to you, thanking you for what you had done, for helping the townsfolk and the children out of the sinkhole. Once you reach the inn, there's more in there that call out in greetings and once more thanking you. A couple offer to buy a round of drinks. So lunch and drinks would be on the house today.
Nice.
I could get used to this.
This isn't so bad.
No,
So you
the
sit down.
attention is annoying, but the free food. I could definitely get used to this.
A round of drinks is brought to the table. A couple of large pitchers.
Moss is indeed going to grab some food to go and go to the bathhouse. He wants some time away.
Yeah, that's not a problem. So you pack up maybe a sandwich or make your own sandwich. You grab half a loaf and some of the nice cheeses and you head out.
It's mouthful of sandwich. Moss going, "Raffle."
Spicy jambalaya sandwich.
No, they're not going to make that mistake again.
Taladar watches him leave, and the more perceptive of you might notice that he begins to fidget nervously after a couple minutes.
Once we're settled in at the table, Teledar, I apologize that I had to grab you like that, but I didn't feel a need to kill that defenseless man. And Tox, what was the reasoning for your attacking him?
He attacked us. He was with the men.
He didn't attack us. He thinks they're gods of some sort. He's not all there.
He's a feeble-minded simpleton and is of no value to us. Their leader, the one who got away, is the one we're after. I don't care about the rest, and they're better off dead. For us and for the folk of this town, not that I care about them. As he looks down at his free food and kind of shrugs. But maybe I should start.
They
No,
will
I simply wanted him dead. I wasn't thinking.
I understand. It was a stressful situation for sure. But he will be brought to justice as well as the others.
Speaking of justice, while you guys are enjoying your lunch, the Constable Harbuck appears in the doorway, spots your table, and heads towards you. Please accept my thanks for what you have done. You were quick to jump in and help without even being asked. And I'm very grateful, as are the townsfolk. I do have some questions, if that's all right.
Of course, Constable.
He pulls up a chair and joins you at the table.
Please don't mistake our tardiness for ignorance. We needed a rest after such a fight.
No, I quite understand, and I have my men looking into things below further. The exits, it appears, one leads to the wagon works, and one winds its way up to an opening in the small quarry in town. I have the handful of individuals currently locked up in the butchers, and we will begin questioning most likely tonight.
We have names. Perhaps some you already have in custody, perhaps others. He kind of looks around the table.
Names, yes. Let's have them.
LaRock?
LaRock. There is no one in town who goes by that name.
Braylon?
Yes, Braylon, the boy.
And Grin?
You mean Grund?
Grund? Oops.
Grund, yes, we have not seen him. Braylon did advocate for him, saying that he's not a bad guy. He just does as he's told, so we would like to get a hold of this individual and ask some questions, of course. I know who Grund is. He's an orc that lives sort of towards the outskirts of town, doing odd jobs for various town folks.
We also have Brothar Haverhand, the father of Braylon.
Yes, he is currently in custody.
Excellent.
What is their punishment?
Well, we need to know exactly what they have done. And then we don't really have a leader or anyone in a leadership role in this town. The most prominent shopkeepers and elders typically get together to make any difficult or serious decisions, but it rarely comes to that. It more comes down to when to plant or what day should we hold such festival, etc. We've not had to mete out punishment like this before. It's possible we would decide to send them on to Waterdeep to be incarcerated there if their crimes are grievous enough. It is if it turns out to be minor offenses, we could just put them on some sort of community service and a city watch to keep an eye on them. We have not yet decided. We would need to speak as a group. For now, the lead quarryman, the boy's father, and one other are in custody, as well as Bur Augustus, but he has not yet regained consciousness. We will get to the bottom of this. The bodies that we saw in that place had strange carvings on them. And it looked, after initial investigations, like they might have been individuals that were part of the Mirabar delegation. He pulls out a scrap of paper with the markings on them that you saw that were carved into the heads of the bodies that you found in there. Do any of you know of this symbol?
Nope.
None of you have seen this before?
Only in the foreheads of the bodies. But there is another symbol that we saw. And he'll open his book and flip to the page where he sketched it. It's the symbol from the necromancer's sanctum.
Right. I wonder if there's anything in common here. They do have a similar sort of style. Well, this perhaps bears more investigating. Unfortunately, at this point, there's very little more to go on. All we know is that the Mirabar delegation set out from Beliard and did not arrive at its next destination. We from Red Larch, as well as a handful of others from Beliard, have checked the roads between here and there is no sign of them. Other than that, we have very little to go on. There are several people that were either expecting the delegation to come through after their stop. I believe they were heading to a monastery or some sort of order of knights. I believe that was their next destination, but of course they never reached it. There were other members of the delegation that were then bound for Red Larch and have not arrived either. This is not something I would normally do, but I feel at this point I have little choice. I would ask, if you had the time to spare, if you would consider looking into this further. We need to at least know what happened to the delegation. Were they attacked? Did they simply vanish through a portal? It would be nice to know what has happened. If not, a recovery of the members traveling with the delegation.
I am looking for a woman that is part of that caravan, so I will gladly investigate further.
Moss and I are after someone who was traveling with them as well, I think. I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
You're not there.
I'm not there, but okay, yeah, fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's just our contact for more information for our separate things we're after, but...
Yes.
Like, Dark, you're not talking about the farmers, right?
No.
Is the rubber man in that caravan, Tox?
I have no idea. They were at the circus, we were attacked, and they were not at the circus.
Yes, that is a running theme in the area as of late. People, not just from the Mirabar delegation, others going missing. That combined with strange weather, rumblings of the earth, though now we believe we know what caused that, at least the sinkhole. But perhaps there is more to it. Strange beasts have been spotted flying, large feathered creatures. But we must try and recover or find out what has happened to these missing people and the delegation. Could I trust you to work on this?
I was under the impression that you had men working on this already.
It has come to my attention that I do not have the resources to look further into this, especially with the goings-on in town lately. I would like to keep my men here in case there are others that are part of this group that we currently have locked up. I need these men in town, whereas you adventurers look like you're capable of going out and about in search of more information.
Tell me, Constable, what do you think of those that you have in custody? Would you, before today, have suspected them of being in league with dark forces, of blindly following and he's just going to take a guess, an evil cleric, of worshipping
Blindly?
stones that move beneath the ground?
Blindly following something, yes. Those and a handful of others have always been a bit of a suspicious lot, quick to jump to conclusions. That part does not surprise me, but following a dark cleric, that just does not strike me as something that they would do. Perhaps they have been brainwashed or mind controlled, or perhaps they have just been fed incorrect information, preying upon what they believe to be these delvers they speak of.
Do you know anything about these delvers?
No, it is the first that I had heard of it, speaking to those that we have locked up. Something about them being the bodies that we found in that large room of stones. They believe those to be the delvers.
Did Tox's unseen servant finish desecrating the corpses?
I went back, or I would have gone back through and finished, but I
Nice.
didn't.
Nice. Well done. Well done. Okay. Yeah, then Taladar will just scoff and say, well, I don't think there's much merit in any of that. But the one who led them escaped just before we could finish him off. A clever one with some measure of power. He was nearly evenly matched with the lot of us. You should keep an eye out for him. I don't think he's one that you or the other townsfolk would want to go toe-to-toe with.
Ah, very good. I will keep an eye out for this individual.
We, on the other hand, have some unfinished business with him, and he looks around the table.
Was there anything else that you found down there?
Taladar's going to get quiet and maybe let others speak.
You found the random dwarf statue?
Yes, I noticed that. I don't know what you know about the area, but very, very long time ago, this area, well, all of the Desserin Valley, really, was home to several dwarves. I don't remember from which clan, but the hills are rich in minerals and gems, and so that is apparently what brought them here. So I am not completely surprised to find dwarven carvings or statues, etc. It looks, from what I understand and my little knowledge of dwarves, that appears to be a dwarven structure below ground. Of course, once the dwarves moved on, humans moved in, building several keeps in the area and turning the fertile valleys into farms.
Just hear a faint voice off distance. Don't forget the shithole.
Do you mention to him the trade bars you found?
I'm not going to, but I think Deeves is about to.
Yeah, we did find these trade bars from Mirabar. There are 4 of them.
Oh. Ah, well, that lends some credibility then to your claims that these individuals were part of what is going on, at least their leader. Whether or not they are directly responsible for the disappearance, they definitely know more. You say this individual got away?
Yes.
Hmm.
I'd recommend that you double your guard of the prisoners.
I do have a handful of others in town that I could conscript. Thankfully, it is not close to harvest time, at which point I would not be able to spare any men, for the fields must be taken care of. But for now, yes, I believe there are others I can call on. If you are willing to handle this investigation.
I just kind of glance around the table and just kind of try and get everyone's thoughts. Just like nod.
You said you were out of resources. Is that manpower resources?
Yes, I have no men to spare for further investigation. It is clear that the answers will not be found in town and must. There are individuals that have spoken with members of the delegation before it left Beliard. A handful can be found in town. The priest, I believe, was waiting on someone. I believe there was a. She is often at the helm at High Sun. She's a bit of a mercenary, does work with a lot of the caravans that come through. I believe she had some contact with some of the guards from Mirabar before they left as well. She might have more information.
But you're not out of resources to pay for help.
For that, I would have to see what I could do. I would need to speak with my counterparts, perhaps in Beliard or Walmsford, and see if they would like to contribute. There's definitely something we can provide you. I just don't know dollar amounts at this point. Agree to it, and I will definitely make it worth your while.
Well, I was planning on it anyway, so I'm in.
Yeah, I'll just look at Arnor and just nod. And just out loud, does anyone need me for anything else? I have something to attend to.
No. You're free to go.
It won't take long. I'll return with Moss. He'll just slip out.
Okay, so
And
Talon
Darshar,
heads
are
out.
you willing to help?
Fellas.
Starshar, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. My daughter just brought me some nuggies. What's the question?
Are you willing to help search for this caravan and these people?
Oh, absolutely.
Ah, very good then. I will leave you to it. I will leave the means of how you go about investigating up to you. If you have any further questions or if there's anything I can help with, please feel free to come and find me.
Thank you,
With that,
Constable.
he nods again in thanks and gives a wave to the innkeeper and heads out. Moss, you've gone to the bathhouse?
Yes. First thing I do is check in with Helia. Helia?
Yeah, Halia.
Helia? Whether her friend had perchance arrived.
No, I'm sorry. My friend has not arriven. I don't know when to expect them at this point. They've never been late before.
Were they part of the Mirabar delegation?
No, not as far as I know.
And where were they coming from again?
She was in the person she's waiting from comes from Belliard. They were going to meet with somebody from the delegation. That's who they were waiting on. They were supposed to meet in town here. Something about seeds, I believe.
Okay, so Moss just nods, and I would like a bath, please.
Oh, of course. Very good. That will be 5 silver.
Moss confidently hands her 5 silver this time, getting used to this confounded currency.
Yeah, and she takes you to the back into one of the bathrooms that you have been in before and leaves you to it.
And I'm just gonna soak. Nibble on my sandwich. Ponder, reflect.
Yeah, there's one of those nice wooden bath bars that slides across the tub that you can put your sandwich on. Nice cool glass of ice water. Taladar, you are heading up to the bathhouse as well?
Yeah, so trailing Moss by however many minutes it took to finish that conversation with the constable, Taladar will just, step inside quietly and just nod at Helia. I'm not here for a bath, just... There's danger about. We've taken care of some of it. I'm not sure who or what else is out there. I'm just here to look after him, and he nods towards the baths. And starts walking that way. One hand on the hilt of his sword.
Well, that's of course very good. It's nice when friends look out for each other.
He's just gonna sneer at the word friends and keep walking. He'll listen for Moss, and if he hears him, great. If not, he'll just kind of, find a quiet spot in the hallway and just sit cross-legged on the ground. With this, he'll take the sword out and just place it in his lap and sit cross-legged on the ground, listening, watching.
Do I hear Taladar outside?
Make a perception check.
Damn.
You definitely hear somebody in the hall, and by their pace and footfall, it doesn't sound like it's Helia. You think it probably sounds like Taladar, but you're not 100%.
I am going to do disguise self.
Okay.
And I'm going to make myself look like, blonde-haired human, blue eyes. Definitely not Moss.
Okay, you're finished with your bath?
Yeah, I'm gonna, now that I've heard him outside and cast disguise self, I'm just gonna wait in the bath for a minute.
Okay.
See if he comes in.
Nope, just sitting in the hallway.
All right, gonna finish my bath and exit out, disguised still as a human. Kind of taken aback at, pretend to be taken aback at this person in the hall. Look at his sword concernedly, and then just kind of shuffle on.
Okay. So yeah, this
On my way back to the inn.
this man comes out of what looks like the only occupied bathroom.
A glance from Taladar and a look of a brief look of disgust that he quickly quells, and he pays you no more mind.
As I'm walking by, I assume I've got a towel around myself. I just the towel drops, shows my ass to Taladar
You came out of the bathing
Full
room
moon.
completely naked?
with a towel.
Okay. Where were you planning on getting dressed?
Hadn't thought that far yet.
All right.
Oh man.
Yeah, so you get flashed by this blonde human man as after he walks past you. Drops his towel, it seems for no reason. You get the sense he is showing off.
I'm just gonna ignore him.
Okay.
Y'all, I'm laughing so hard.
No, I'm gonna get dressed in the hall.
Just in the middle of the hall, you're going to get dressed.
Yep.
All right.
Is he
And
is he
and,
obviously holding Moss's clothes?
This guy still think changes clothes as well.
But you don't have any clothes on, you're naked.
Ah, damn it!
I don't know if I'd pick up on that. Taladar is not very perceptive.
We're gonna go with this. As I'm putting on my my pants, I'm gonna bend over.
As you are putting on your clothes, Halia walks into the back, shrieks at finding a strange man naked in the middle of the hallway. Points at him. Do something! Then do something! She's saying to Taladar. This man didn't come in. I don't know who
Taladar's
this
gonna
man
slowly
is.
stand up and just hold a hand up.
And okay, so I'm gonna hastily put on my pants after doing the bend down glory shots to Taladar and make my way out.
She is going to try to stop you. She doesn't know who you are. She's seen nobody but Moss yet in the bathhouse and finds this highly suspicious. Stop right there! Stop that man!
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna back her play and take a couple of steps forward and level the sword at him. You heard her. Stop.
Moss is going to run.
Okay.
Yeah, roll initiative then.
Yep.
That's fine. I don't think we need an actual turn tracker.
No. So yeah, you make to run down the road. Unfortunately, Taladar will get to go first.
Yeah, I don't. What is this guy? How tough does this guy look? Like, I don't want to.
Well, he's barely dressed.
I really don't want to kill him.
Well,
He,
It's not really worth my
I
time, but I don't really have anything else.
farmhand, like
Oh, okay.
so he's got hastily thrown on clothes. There's no armor on him that you can see. But you don't know who this man is. You have not seen him in town. Halia has said she doesn't recognize him and to go after him.
Right. Well, I'm going to deftly strike at him while casting the spell Booming Blade.
Okay.
Does a 9 hit? Highly doubt a 9 hits.
my AC is 12 because I don't have my shield on. I'm sure.
I mean, you don't have your armor on either.
That's true.
So
With my
it'd
arm-
just be 10 plus your dex.
10 plus my dex.
Yeah.
So 11.
Yeah, so I miss.
Yeah, so you swing out at this guy who's running past you, and you miss.
So my fly is still undone, so I kind of...
Well, hang on. Do you have any bonus actions, Taladar?
Not
Okay.
that I can. Yeah, nothing I can do anything with.
Okay, Moss, it is you.
So in my disarray, my fly is still not done up, and I kind of just try to distract Taladar. Oh no, another sinkhole! And try to run in the opposite direction. My jiggly bits all out jiggling.
I mean, would I notice that it's Moss's voice? Again, my perception is -1, so yeah, my passive perception is 9. My passive insight's 9, so maybe not.
Make an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
You know that Moss went to the bathhouse, and that he was only about 10 minutes in front of you. You didn't see or hear him in the bathhouse. You saw that there was only one closed door, but you didn't ask Halia anything about him. You just said you were going to wait. I would say for all intents and purposes, you don't know that this is Moss.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna look at her and what do you want me to do with him? And I can just kind of point the sword lazily at the goofball.
Stop him and get the constable.
And I'm still trying to run, so I don't know if my distraction worked.
Well, I mean, he would have stopped to talk to her, right? So yeah, you. At this point, Taladar is gonna just kind of slowly walk towards the exit. He doesn't know what to make of all this and doesn't really care. He's gonna walk to the exit and just kind of look around.
At this point, Moss is out in the middle of the street.
Well, if Taladar sees him, he's just gonna yell, "You there! Stop! Stop!"
Moss doesn't stop.
I'll walk back.
Okay, so
in.
Moss continues to run up, and
He's
Taladar
run towards the inn.
Oh, you're running down through the center of town.
Yep, jiggly bits
Okay.
all jiggling.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Well,
So approaching the inn,
Moss lived in the wild. He doesn't know decorum.
you do see the retreating form of Constable Harbuck as you come pelting down the road. He turns before he can get to the corner and head back to the butcher, sees you running full tilt down the road, does not recognize you, and asks you at the top of his voice to stop.
He said he's at the corner?
Yeah.
And where am I in relation? Am I near him? Am I near the corner?
You're probably 50 feet away from him.
So I'm gonna slow my pace a little bit and just I'm coming to you. You know, I'm jogging towards the constable.
Yeah, he puts
Non-threatening manner.
He puts his hand to his short sword at his side, holding up one hand and says, "Stop, that is far enough."
I take a look back. Is Taladar still looking at me? Or has he lost interest?
He's
Taladar's
still
gone
up the
back
road a
inside.
ways.
Yeah, like
he went up.
he,
Alright,
he
so then-
basically walked out the front door of the place, saw you, kind of pointed his sword at you. Stop! Fucking just dropped his sword, walked back inside.
As far as Taladar's concerned, he's still inside waiting for Moss. Like, he thinks you're in there.
Well, yeah, he's actually a little bit worried and is going to go and ask Helia if there was anyone else in there and just go have a look and see if Moss is still there. Like, did this guy attack Moss and then run off? I don't know.
So I am take a look back, see Talador's not watching, and dismiss disguise self. And so I'm now Moss, walking towards the constable. And
The constable still has his hand out towards you, telling you to
All-
stop.
all right, I'm stopping, and Jiggly Bits are still out, larger in both size and proportion.
What is going on? Why are you running half naked through the streets?
I was just avoiding someone that I didn't want to talk to.
Well, have some decorum. Cover yourself. There's children about.
Moss actually blushes. I don't know how you blush as a gray-skinned person, but blush
There you
and
go, purpley.
purpley, and kind of just
There's
mumbles an
enough going
apology.
on.
And
There's enough going on in the town that we don't need this kind of trouble.
sorry, sir.
Back to the inn with you. And he turns and makes his way towards the butcher.
All right, make my way back to the inn. Sit down with the others. Do they relay what they have learned or what they've been discussing with me?
Yes. We're going
So
on
yeah,
an
tell me
adventure.
more.
Masha
Moss.
says, I have no other leads. I'm in.
So yeah, you guys continue. You finish up your lunch. You don't know if Talador is coming back anytime soon. So yeah, what would you guys like to do?
What time is it?
At this point, it's probably about 3 p.m.
Have we taken a short rest or?
I would say that the people that are sitting and eating at the inn have. Talador probably has. I would say he was there about half an hour before he. Well, no, he wasn't. He left 10 minutes after you. The ones that are currently in the inn, minus Moss, have had a short rest.
So I tell the group I need a break, and I'm going to go up by one of the trees, kind of away from the road, out of the commotion, and do a short rest there.
Okay. So Moss heads out to take an hour to himself to rest and recover. You can go ahead and take your short rest. Taladar, what are you doing?
I'll ask Kalia if there's another entrance to this place, if she saw anyone else come or go, and was Moss the only one here?
At the time, he was the only one here. There is a back entrance, but I'm the only one that ever uses it. I suppose that man could have got in this way, or got in that way. He didn't come in the front. I would have seen him.
And at this point, I would have, if she says that nobody else is here, I'll go check and, see if that's true. Carefully check the bathhouse and make sure there's nobody else here. And
Yeah, all of the current bathing rooms are open, and there is nobody else in this building. The back door is in fact locked.
the back door's locked. Yeah. So
At this point, you are intelligent enough to know.
there's only really one thing that could have happened. That man killed my friend and took his skin. No.
It's possible.
No, I think Taladar's he's got some sense as to what's going on.
Mhm.
He'll just shrug and say it very well could have been Moss playing a practical joke. I wouldn't think much of it.
I think that guy went all Hannibal Lecter on my friend.
If you
And ate him in the 10 minutes that I took to get here.
if he does come back this way in whatever skin he chooses to wear, and Taladar will hand her a gold piece.
You
Cold
tell your
water.
friend. You tell him when you see him. He's not welcome here. I don't take kindly to pranks like that. Scared the life out of me.
He's kind of holding the gold piece in his hand. I was going to request cold water, but That's much better, and he'll pocket the gold piece.
Oh yes, of course. I can get a bath ready for you. That's not a problem.
No, I meant cold water for him if he comes back. But
No, that man will not be coming back.
Oh no!
well, I
Monster's
suppose
getting used to the bathhouse.
I suppose that pond at the edge of town will have to suffice, and he chuckles and walks out the door. I'll make my way back to the inn.
Okay. So you guys are all gathered up in the inn. Let's go over what information you guys currently have.
Is it okay if I read a list of names to
Yes.
make sure that we've got them? Because I have a list,
Yep.
and I'm assuming others have too. So Larocque is the cult leader, cleric, wizard, whatever the fuck it is we fought, who
Yes.
kicked our butts and then ran off
Correct.
before we could kill him. Baragustus is the I don't remember what his profession is, but he was the guy sitting by the door, who we tried to
Yes.
kill but couldn't, and he's now in custody. Rothar Hatherhand is Braylon's father. I don't know what he does in town.
He is.
And he's not in custody, as far as I know.
No, he is. In custody currently is the quarry master, Braylon's father, Rothar, Baragustus, and one other.
Right. Ilmeth Welver runs the wagon works. Is
Yes,
Ilmeth
that is-
also in custody?
That is the
or-
other one who is in custody.
What about Ulro Leruth, the tanner?
He is not.
Oh, okay, because he was one of the three.
No, the three that he currently has. There's four in custody: Baragustus, Ilmeth, Rothar, and the quarry master.
Elberry Melico.
Yes.
Elberry.
Yeah, Elberry.
And then I've got another name, Marlandro Gelker, runs the big shop in town. It's a combination like barber shop, gossip shop, place where people go to eat snacks.
Yeah, you don't know anything further about him.
So my other notes of people, we have Braylon, which was a kid. That was Ilma's son. We have Mr. Galark, the merchant shop owner. We have Grun, the chain guard, and Ulro Lurith, the tannery owner. That's my notes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's what I've got for names, and yeah. So that's me.
Does anyone else have any input before I sort of give a brief synopsis of what you know so far?
I think I'm good to wait.
Yep.
Okay, so at this point, you know a handful of things. There's a few rumors that you've heard in town. The crazy guy out at Lance Rock that the innkeeper thought has something to do with a lot of the shit that was going on. You handled that. Turned out that it was unrelated, although he did mention and have a symbol deep in his lair about some sort of eye. And you've heard others mention this as well, I think. Maybe not. What else? The delegation from Mirabar, you know that it left Beliard at some point roughly 2 weeks ago, on its way to a destination that you're not 100% on, but that their next stop was to deliver something to an order of knights. Other rumors that you have heard, there is a shepherd who claims to have seen 4 or so rock cairns out where he normally takes his flock to graze, and so he hasn't been back out there. They just appeared one day, and he's out there all the time. It was really strange, so he hasn't taken his sheep back out there. You have heard of eyes in the quarry, people watching from the hill. Now, you're not quite sure if that is the small quarry in town, or you know that there is another. No, maybe you don't know. I would say at this point you would. There is another larger quarry farther outside of town, and you think that's probably where what they're talking about, and so the quarrymen won't go there at night anymore. There's been strange weather lately, weird cloud patterns, lightning from a cloudless sky, strange creatures you have seen, or you haven't seen, but others have seen flying around, and people periodically going missing, either as part of a merchant caravan or travelers on the road. But at that point, that's sort of a sum up of things you know.
What about the graves? What are my notes on that?
That's the rock cairns that appeared
That's
in
the rock cairns?
the Shepherd's grazing lands.
Southeast of Red Larch.
Yep. Oh, the other thing you know, somebody, I don't know if they were at the inn, and I can't remember which one of you overheard it, was talking about getting books.
Mm-hmm.
They got a really good deal on some ancient or old dwarven texts or books that they bought from a merchant who got them from a trader in Womford. And having been told by the constable, you know that, well, maybe you don't know, Mirabar is a dwarven city. The trade bars that you found come from Mirabar. There were dwarves in the delegation. Somebody was going to be meeting them. I don't remember whose contact it was waiting for a couple of dwarves. You don't know that that's related, but it's just one more piece of information you have.
Well, the cairns are a specific location, so that would be an easy task to take on. The quarry is a specific location, again an easy task to begin. But I don't know if those are related to this Mirabar delegation, which is of particular interest to, I think, a few of us at least. I suppose the question is, are these side quests, and if so, do we feel we need to grind XP before we move on?
They are not side quests.
Yeah, it's not clear to Taladar how related all of these things are, especially things like, strange weather. That could be. We live in a magical world that could be literally anything. The people going missing. I mean, we've accounted for some of them already. Strange creatures flying around. That's odd, but not enough of a lead, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And he would say, I suppose if we wanted, we could scour the town for clues, ask as many people as we can speak to about these symbols, ask about, try and gather more information on these other happenings, and use that to help us decide. Or if we are going straight after the Mirabar delegation, we'd need to know their last known whereabouts, because while it seems of interest to us, it's not clear to me where to go to pick up their trail.
Starsha, give me an intelligence. An intelligence check.
Am I still outside, or am I back in the inn?
No,
yet?
I would say you're back at the inn.
All right, I just stroll in, sit down at the table.
11. You remember that the map that you have in your possession has a bunch of strange markings on it. maybe it's worth having another look at. None of them are directly popping into your mind, but maybe it's worth having another look at. Now, whether you do that here at the table or in private is up to you. But I would say, whenever you decide to have a look at it, opening it up, you do see that symbol in one of the corners of this map.
The
There are
symbol that
other
was
symbols.
on the skull of the dead bodies?
Yes, yep.
Oh.
There's other symbols on this map, but that is definitely one of them.
Like, where on the map are they? Just around the edges or in specific
Yes.
locations?
No, it's in the bottom right corner, I'd say. There seems to be other symbols in the other corners, as well as a couple more symbols spread out throughout the map that don't seem to have any bearing on the map itself. You don't know if they're decorative or if it's a marking of the map maker. You're not sure.
Is there an arcane shop in town?
No, there is not. Like, did you for buying reagents or to like talking to spellcasters?
Yes.
I'm a spellcaster.
Ugh.
Based on what you have seen of the town, you don't think you're going to find anyone like that. And other than picking up maybe potions or simple reagents, you don't think you'd be able to find anything too magical or anything like that.
I see.
You do have 2 magic users in your group. Technically 3.
Yeah. But do I trust their abilities after seeing what they do?
Well, I wouldn't trust anybody in your group. They're all chuckleheads.
Yeah, right? Trying to murder the doorman?
Fuck that guy.
I mean, hold on. I did
Talk
save
sense.
your.
Yourself.
You may not know this, but I did save your life. In the caves.
I mean, that's just expected. That's human decency.
Neither of you are human?
Stop pointing that out.
Oh, it's a good thing. It really is.
So yeah, at this
Doesn't have
point,
my human decency case, though.
me as a DM sees 3 ways you could potentially go. Now, you can go literally anywhere you want and do anything you want. But based on the information that you currently have, there's 3 ways that you could go.
I've got like 7 things. Can you tell me which 3 they are? Is it the rock cairns to the southeast, the large quarry outside of town, or the Mirabar delegation?
So you could go looking for the Mirabar delegation, at least, where it might have disappeared from. You know that it left Beliard. You could go to Beliard. You could just look for this delegation. You could check out the rock cairns. You could go and see if you can find anything else out about these books and this book vendor with these dwarven texts. And that is about it. You could go and look at the quarry, but you don't have any information other than people have been spied watching, or the feeling of eyes in the night watching.
How far
So
is
Mossman-
Belyar?
Beliard is about a 2.5, 3-day travel.
Hmm.
It is to the northeast.
So Moss can speak up, and we've had 2 things that we have dealt with: something with the dead, and something with the earth. I suggest we look at these cairns that the shepherd has found.
I would suggest before we do that we get a good night's rest.
Yes.
and then head out first thing in the morning.
Yep. So I mean, if you guys want, you can definitely just spend the rest of your time in town, take a nice long rest tonight, and head out first thing. That's not a problem.
Before we get to bed, I would want to go down to the general shop that I never ended up making it to the last time,
Okay.
and just ask if the shopkeeper had any information.
Let me bring up your info. You were told to seek out a merchant in town, I believe.
Yeah. The general goods contact.
Right. I'm just looking through one of my 10 tabs. I'd forgotten about your contact. We are about halfway through the session. Why don't we take a quick 5-minute break there? I will pull up all the pertinent information, and we can go. We'll start out with you going down to talk to the merchant when we get back.
Okay.
Sound good?
She needs time to look it up.
I do. So yeah, we'll take a 5-minute break.
We're live.
Of course, just as soon as I put something in my face.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys finish up doing your various things in town. Call it an early night. And you all head for a long rest at the inn.
Before I do that,
Yep.
I'm going to try to scrounge up some moonseed plants, plant seeds.
Moonseed. What are they?
It's just seeds of a moonseed plant. A lot of word seed in there. They are for. How do I link this?
Is it for Moonbeam?
Yes.
You already have them.
Cool.
Those are simple components, and you always have those if you have a component pouch. The only thing you need to worry about monetarily is if something has a value that gets used in the spell. For instance, you need a diamond in order to be able to cast Revivify. A diamond worth a certain amount of gold that gets consumed in the spell.
Okay. I'm curious about how do you know which ones consume versus don't, but I will ask that question later. Right.
During the night... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, shuffling the room. How much do we have to pay for the rooms?
I thought the paladin was covering the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See? There he is.
The proprietor just goes to Aranor anytime there's any questions like this that have arisen. And she didn't come to him last night. Your meals were all comped. You assume that maybe the room was for tonight. In fact, the innkeeper, before you head up for bed, Aranor, pulls you aside and says, I've been speaking with the town constable. My thanks again for everything that you and your group has done for the town. In exchange, for as long as you stay in town, it will be on us. We would be happy to provide rooms for you while you were, working on these things that are going on about the area.
Oh, thank you. It is greatly appreciated.
It's the least we can do. If you can put an end to some of these troubles we're having, it's a small price to pay, I think.
I am hoping we can.
Yeah, so she just tells you, for as long as you're working for them, you don't have to pay for your rooms.
Perfect.
So you all head off to bed.
Are,
At some point,
are Tox and I still sharing a room?
as far as I know,
Tox, you would find a bucket of water in the room with us.
What's this?
Get in your bucket.
It's water.
Are you drinking it?
No, it's for you.
Oh.
I'm going to kill them all, you know.
Jeeps.
I tried.
As did I. But I think perhaps we tried in the wrong setting. Bear Augustus, Larock, Rothar, Grund. Ilmeth, Elberry, Alro, Marlandra, they're all worse than useless. And dangerous. To us, to others. But it has me thinking, if there are people stupid enough to follow someone like Larock, well, there's something there.
I don't know about killing all of them, but if we have to, I'm gonna grab the bug and just pour it all over myself.
Like, just all over you and the floor and everything?
Yeah. Ah, that's nice.
And that's it
You
for
know,
me.
it's not easy being green, you know. So yes, after you guys have all made your way to your individual rooms, or in this case, joined rooms, Starsha, you hear a knock at your door.
Hmm. Not expecting anybody. All right, I'll go and open the door to see who it is.
You crack the door open to see a face of somebody that you don't know. It appears to be a half-elf woman. I've been sent to give you a little bit of information.
All right, I'm
We've-
opening the door further for her to enter.
She steps into the room. Thank you. It's regarding that map of yours. We think it's a map that leads to some old dwarven stronghold. Now we're not entirely sure. We're not 100% on it. But we think it's probably somewhere in the Desserin Valley. And we're looking into it further to get a more precise location. But for now, they wanted you to know that they are working on it, and that's the information that they've come up with so far.
Do you know anything about these markings on the map?
Do you show them to her?
Sure.
She hasn't seen the map before. Oh, I have seen these markings before. I'm not sure what they are. Is it important to you?
I'm just curious. Where have you seen them before?
I've seen them on one or two other maps, and in one of the manuscripts that we have back at base. There's
Does the
something not quite right about them.
About the markings?
Yeah, they don't seem to show up anyplace good. One of the maps we found was on a dead body. It seems like these marks are some sort of maybe bad omen or symbol of I don't know, something dark. Anyway, have you gotten any further with looking into the mirror bar thing? You remember your initial contact when the guy approached you about the map?
Yeah.
That was sort of the deal. You look
Right.
into this mirror bar thing, we'll get you info about this map.
Yeah, I've been trying. That's why I'm asking about the symbols. They were found on bodies that we found,
Bodies?
and close to the bodies we found some Mirabar trade bars.
Oh, you don't say. Wow, okay. That's good. That's good. All right, well, I should get out of here. I'll bring this info back, and you'll probably hear from somebody within the next couple of days, as soon as we have more about this map of yours. And she just gives you a nod, and she looks both ways down the hall, and she just sort of darts off. With that, go ahead and everyone push your long rest buttons. It is now morning. The sun has risen. There are big fluffy white clouds in the sky. And a bit of a breeze. But the day seems nice. Good day for travel, for being outside, out and about.
Let's head to the rock cairns.
Okay, so you guys are going to head to the cairns. Let me put you on the world map.
And Dirk, I am going to cast my last spell slot for Goodberry to generate some more.
Before you go to sleep? Okay.
Yep. So I have an extra 10.
Okay. Ooh, we might need the bigger map, actually.
So the good berries we have on us are good till like noon. The ones you passed out yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know what time we were leaving that cave, but yeah, whenever that was.
You left there at like 8 a.m.
Oh,
I didn't realize it was that early.
Yeah, you guys woke up not long after dawn and packed up.
Then we were underground right away. Okay.
Got back
In any
to
event,
town.
I created 10 more before I went to bed. The ones you guys have in your persons will be no good anymore.
yeah, no.
I guess
the ones I'm talking about are the ones he created after the last fight. So whenever that was, they're good till then.
I don't know when those ones were created.
After,
right before we left the caves, we found the secret passage out.
Yeah. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll just delete them. It's not like we're going to use them anyway.
Okay, so you guys head out. You had gotten directions from the shepherd. Let me actually put you on the bigger map.
And we're just so I'm clear, we're going where, to the Stone Cairns?
Yes.
Okay.
It was my understanding that that's where you guys wanted to go.
Yeah, no, it just affects the spells I prepare.
So yeah, you guys get up with dawn. You maybe grab a bit of breakfast at the inn. And before long, you are out on the road. Following the shepherd's direction, or he can go with you. He did tell you he won't go out at night. But he did give detailed instructions on what to look for and where to go. It's about 2.5 hours outside of town. To the southeast, following the Cairn Road. As you set out, I need to get perception checks. Well, who's going to sort of be leading the way?
Moss kind of got his confidence back and would prefer to take the lead unless Aaron wants to.
Okay,
Nope, I was just going to say, boss, go ahead and take lead. I'll follow behind you.
Moss, give me your survival check. All right. It's an easy day for travel. The Cairn Road Well, it is just a dirt road. It does have wagon wheel ruts in it. It's not in as good a shape as the long road, being sort of much better maintained. This is a lesser used road, but it is in decent shape, and so your travel goes relatively easily. You've been on the road now for an hour and a half. Give me a perception check.
Myself?
Yes.
Damn it!
Is everybody or just Moss?
No, just Moss. He's leading the way. Yeah, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Just looks like nice countryside. You've sort of passed the last of the farms about half an hour back, and it's basically just rolling plains of green. The hills, of course, to the north a little bit, climbing up towards the sky. When all of a sudden, out of the grass, pop 3 shapes. And I will need everybody to roll for initiative.
Oh no. Maybe put us
Oh,
on
I
the
have
battle map
tokens.
first and bring up the tracker.
Make sure you have, yeah.
Let me pull up the map.
Hey, I've used that map before.
Shut up.
Oh no, I've used a similar map.
Make sure you click your dude before you roll.
You don't have
Was it
tokens yet?
Ah!
It's fine.
Just drag them on from the. Yeah.
Busy scouting for the penis.
This is one of the maps I did not make, so if there is one, it's not me.
I'm gonna roll a d6 just for magic missiles regen, so that's what this one is.
Okay.
Nice.
Starsha, did you see the cool animation when you rolled that natural 20?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Where's Aranor?
Did I not drag him?
Get fucked.
Sorry, I must have missed you.
I'm assuming we're on the road, right?
Yes, I just quickly dragged you.
Tox has apparently gotten lost. He's way up front. Here he comes.
Look at that initiative.
Fuck, you get a 0 on initiative. Just go home.
Aranor decided to take a nap. He skipped in this battle.
We look around and he's just nowhere to be found.
Yeah, popping out of the grass, so I'm gonna use
Oh,
old
man.
icons for this.
3
one,
miles
'cause I
away
don't think
taking
I
a
have
shit.
ones.
Fucking useless. That's what I get from min-maxing.
Just up ahead of you, 3 strange shapes. Small, glowing orbs that sort of hover in the air. And they are moving towards you. Let me put some combato on.
Glowing shapes?
Yes, they glow.
Hovering.
Hovering in the air. Well, they're not hovering. They're moving towards you.
Do you
That
need
might
to add
work.
them to the initiative list and sort it?
I do need to roll for them, and then I will sort it. Oops. They will all go on the same turn. All right. Coming up out of the grass, you see these 3 glowing shapes. They hover momentarily in the air, and then they begin to drift closer to you. This first one is going to pull up right beside Moss and make an attack. Moss does a 9 hit.
No, my AC is 14.
All right, so the first one, it begins to crackle with what looks like lightning, and it zaps out towards you, but it doesn't seem to hit you. The next one moves up right beside Aranor, and also lets out an attack. Does an 18 hit?
Yes, I have 18 AC.
So the small floating orb hovering beside you crackles with lightning and zaps you. You will take 7 points of lightning damage. Whoops.
Jeez.
The third one can't quite get there, but does move up menacingly. Taladar, that brings us to you.
Right. Can I make some sort of I don't know, nature or arcana check to see if I recognize what these things are?
Make a nature check.
Nope.
Yeah, you're not quite sure.
They seem to be some kind of orbs. Right. Taladar is going to... yeah. He's gonna invoke Blade Song, and... because there's not a lot I can do otherwise. He's gonna invoke Blade Song and move up. And attack the one next to... Actually, no. He's gonna move up to... next to Moss and attack this one.
Okay.
With Booming Blade. If I hit it, if it moves 5 feet or more before the start of my next turn, it will take an additional D8 of thunder damage.
Well, I won't move then.
But I do not hit it. And that
Nope,
is my turn.
That does not hit. Moss, it's your turn.
Do I know what these things are?
Roll a nature check. I would say you have probably never seen them, but you have read about them in one of the books in your grandfather's hidey hole. You think that these are probably will-o-wisps.
Okay. I am going to run my hand over my staff and shillelagh
Okay.
and give a thwack to the one beside me.
Okay, go ahead. Unfortunately, that does not hit. You're drawing on what information you can remember of these things. You remember that they have a fair amount of movement to them, and they can be difficult to hit. They do give off bright light in a 5-foot radius. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
Okay, Starsha, it is you.
Yes, I come prepared. I have a firebolt. I want to hurl at it.
Okay.
A what?
Which one?
Firebolt.
Which one are you hitting?
Oh, how about the one that's closest to me?
The one beside Aranor? Okay.
Yes. Who's gonna get hot? No, Aranor?
Yes, a 23 will definitely hit.
Damn.
So you unleash this firebolt. Streaks out from the tip of your finger. This thing, this will-o-wisp, is consumed in the flames. And it crackles around it momentarily. It's hard to tell if this thing is taking damage. You think it did? Is there anything else? Any movement? Bonus action hide, etc.?
What can I use as my bonus action?
You can dash, you can hide, you can disengage, you can attack, but you wouldn't get the full damage out of it. You can cast any spell. Oh no, you can't. You've already cast a spell.
You can only attack as a bonus action if you're...
If your first attack was melee? No, that sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can hide, you can dash, you can disengage. You have your full movement still.
So, like, you could move over to the rock over here and hide behind it, and then, you know, if you threw your dagger at it next turn, you'd have advantage on the attack and do sneak attack damage.
Yeah.
As an example.
Oh, I like that.
All right. Are you going to hide?
Yes.
Okay, roll stealth for me.
Can't you tell she's whispering?
I'm hiding. Well, I can see her behind the rock, so
No, you can't.
I'm looking right at you.
No,
Yeah,
you're
just roll
not.
a stealth. 18. Okay. So Starsha darts off into the brush and seems to disappear out of sight behind the rock. Is that you hiding? You can't see me. I'm just green.
Not me, no.
Tox.
Alright. Well, Tox figures that Tox better do what Tox does.
Here comes
ahead.
Tox.
And just move in I should be able to get to here.
Okay.
And then I will Thunder Wave.
Okay. Will that hit the two of them closest to you?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a 9 around me. 15-foot cube originating from you. I forget how we measured it.
So it is a 9 by
it
9?
would look like this, or you could put it here, or you could put it there. Basically, as long as you're touching, one side of it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be centered on you. It just originates from you.
Yeah. It's a wave in front of you in any direction.
Well, can I hit those two then?
It doesn't look like you'd be able to get both of them.
You could hit those 3 though.
Oh, hell yeah, that's 3 targets. No, I'll just hit the one next to Aranor.
Okay, and blow it north then. Okay, go ahead.
It's a save.
It's a save, DC 12. Okay. Con? Yes.
Yeah.
I rolled a 19.
Alright. So it takes half.
Okay. And that was 7, so 3?
Yes.
Alright.
And it isn't pushed.
And it is not pushed. Okay. This thing doesn't look like it's hovering in the air as well as the others.
And then for my bonus action, I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration to Aranor.
Okay. What are you doing to give him inspiration?
Just whistle at him and just point at him. Hit this fucking thing!
Okay.
What?
Amazing.
What's that? What does that do?
You
I
get
think it lets you roll a d6 on your turn. You can add your inspiration die, I think.
yeah, you get a 1d6 for that you can use anytime in the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, at 5th level it goes up. Oh, okay, cool. So that is Aranor. It is you.
All right, I'm just gonna swing at this thing.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'll roll my d6.
Okay.
So 22.
22 is definitely going to hit.
Seven points of damage.
7 points of damage. This thing is not hovering in the air very well at all anymore.
Damn.
Starsha, which one did you hit? The one by Split Iron or 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
Man, that thing's taking hits from a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So,
That's it.
do you have anything else to do?
Nope.
Okay. Top of the round. It is their turn. This one is going to move slightly to the side of Taladar and attempt to hit him again. Does a 16 hit?
A 16 does not hit. My AC is currently 18 with the Blade Song active.
Okay, so this thing lets out another zap. Doesn't seem to do anything. Continues to hover there. The one to the south is going to move up.
Uh-oh, Tox.
And is going to hit Tox.
Good night!
There went Tox!
Do you know what happens to a frog when it gets hit by lightning?
Frog legs.
Same thing that happens to everyone else.
Oh,
That is
boy.
a crit.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
shit.
Too far away from me, Tox.
Oh,
I was gonna say
balls.
you have a bad scene followed by a bad movie, but a crit's actually much worse.
It's old enough that we all know it, though. That is 13 points of
Jesus.
lightning damage.
All right.
Yowza.
That is all that one is going to do. The last one is just going to zap at Aranor. I'm assuming 14 does not hit.
Nope.
Oh, this thing is sort of bobbing in the air a little bit. It's like it's having a hard time staying aloft. And it zaps out, but it does not come anywhere close to you. Taladar, that brings us to you.
Observing how nimble these things are and hard to hit, I am going to level my sword at... I'll pivot around. I'll pivot around the Will-O-Wisp here to the opposing side. I will level my sword at it and utter a word of power and cast Magic Missile at 2nd level
Okay.
for 4 darts, doing a d4 plus 1. I'm
And they do
gonna...
force damage, right?
They do force damage, yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
put 3 darts into the one next to Tox and 1 dart into the one next to Aranor.
Okay.
So let's cast it. Oh boy. So 6 points to this guy and 2 points to this guy.
Oh, I only see one. Okay. 6 points to the bottom one.
I mean, I'm just multiplying by the number of darts. I'm not rolling it individually. I suppose I could, but I'm lazy.
So from Taladar's outstretched hand, you see these purplish missiles sort of weave through the air, 3 striking the one south of Tox, and 1 striking the one in front of Aranor. That one can barely stay off the ground.
And that's it for me.
That's it for you. Okay, Moss, it is your turn.
Oh, jeez. I am going to move around to the one here. And sorry, I'm finding my. No, I'm just gonna whack it with the staff.
Okay, go ahead.
The one in front of Aranor.
Okay. You have advantage because you are flanking.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, you had advantage, so the 19 does hit.
Oh, thank God.
With 10 points of damage, this thing flickers, falls to the ground, and just disappears.
10 points. My God, that staff.
Well, he did shillelagh it up.
Hmm.
And,
is there
okay,
anything else?
Yes. Gonna kind of turn to the side to Tox and give him a word of inspiration or a word of healing. Give him the chair. And I'm going to heal Tox for 7.
7 points of healing.
Jeez. Nice, Bri.
All right. That brings us to Starsha. Starsha is currently hiding behind that rock.
Mhm. Well, I think I'm going to try my luck on the one that's by Tox.
Okay. So you
So
sneak
you-
around the back side of the rock.
Mm-hmm.
It is unaware of your presence.
Nice. See me sneaking. And I will use my sexy new firebolt again.
All right. Go ahead.
Do I roll both sneak attack and the firebolt, or just firebolt?
I don't think you get sneak attack on a cast.
Boo. That's fine. Here we go. Wow, that was sad.
So, a small dot of red shoots out from your finger, hitting this thing. You think it hits? Wait, no, maybe it didn't. As the ground beneath it catches fire.
The ground Tox is standing on?
No, the ground right beneath the will-o'-the-wisp smolders a little bit.
Oh.
Is there anything else you'd like to do? Hide again? Starsha?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, sure. I'll get back behind my... Well, I'll get behind this rock. That's a little closer.
Okay,
There you go.
go ahead and roll me some stealth.
Damn.
Starsha, for all intents and purposes, has disappeared from the world. Nobody knows where she went.
Back to my plane.
Tox, it's your turn. Pay no attention to
This
that green
piece
box to the left.
Shit. All right. Well, I'm just gonna try to stab this bastard.
Okay.
I did not hit it.
It seems to just hover above your blade right as you go to strike out, and it just goes wide.
All right. Then I'll just try to hit it with my dagger.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, unfortunately, it's like it knows you're about to attack, and it just moves out of the way. Any movement from you?
No, I'm good.
Aranor.
I can't cast a spell and swing, right? It's either one or the other.
You can attack and then cast a spell as a bonus if
I don't have that
you have
ability,
any spells
no.
that do it.
No. Okay. All right. I'm gonna swing at this.
All right.
Mm.
Smite the
a
fuck out of it.
With a mighty swing of his sword, he crits this thing.
Smite.
Mm. Yeah, I'm gonna smite it.
It's Paladin's best spell.
How did I say we were doing crits? Is it whatever you roll plus max damage?
That's how I've always done it, but I thought you said something about just going
Just
with
take what the
double
dice give
dice. But
Just
keep
roll
in mind to
twice.
do double dice, you have to mouse over it to see what the die is, and then add double
You want me to roll
figure
it?
out like So like he rolled it's D8 plus 3. He rolled a 1 on the 1D8. So you double the 1, so you'd add a point of damage. So that's 5 instead of 4. Versus the max dice method, where he would get plus 8 to that. That's
No,
why I always go.
We're
with
gonna do
dice.
max dice. It's easy, so it would be.
And it feels good too. You always
Yeah.
end up with doing more damage than you would normally.
I don't do it with mine. I just roll whatever I roll.
Yeah, that's how I
max damage.
same. That's how I always did it too. It's a pain as a DM to do it.
So it's a D8, right? So
Yeah,
it's
D8.
4 plus 8.
Yep. 12.
So 12 points of damage. Are you adding smite to it?
And yeah, I'll smite it.
Okay.
For additional 9.
This thing bobs in the air, shudders a little bit, and then falls to the ground before disappearing.
Nice. Then I'm going to move over to this one.
Okay.
That's it.
That brings us to the top, which is the Will-O-Wisp's turn. This one, I believe, is untouched. Okay, it is going to float in the air temporarily, flickering a little bit before it moves. Taladar, it is going to move right through you and come out the other side.
Something's in me. Something's in me.
It's Taco Bell.
Right through you.
Before lashing out with a zap.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, because it is incorporeal movement.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Unfortunately, that I don't believe hits. An 11.
No. AC 18.
All right. It is now Taladar's turn.
I am going to. I don't suppose I can move through it. I don't really want to.
No.
Okay. Well, I will pivot around it and
Mhm.
attack it with my blade.
Okay, go ahead.
We're going to use Booming Blade again. And... Nope. And that's my turn.
No, it's almost like your sword passed right through it that time. You're not quite sure what's going on. No bonus action or anything?
Nope.
Moss, it is your turn.
I'm gonna pull out the wand of magic missiles and give her a go.
Okay, how many are you firing off?
Let's do two charges. Yeah, 2 charges.
Okay.
So that's
4. So 2 charges would be a second level spell, which would be the base 3 plus 1. So it would be you just roll the damage and multiply by 4. Oh, actually, it appears to have rolled it all for you. Is that right? No. Oh shit! No, that's for 1. Yeah, so 20 points of damage.
20 points of damage. You let rip 2 of these missiles. They twist through the air and strike it right in the center. This thing is now having a hard time staying aloft.
damn. It's still up.
Yes. Is that everything?
Moss curses and let's see. I still have movement, so I'm going to move right ahead.
Okay. Starsha, it is your turn. You are
Alright.
currently hidden.
Alright. Oh, no more. Alright, let me come out from behind my rock. and fire my sexy firebolt again.
Yeah, go ahead. Unfortunately, it also goes wide.
What?
It does not hit.
How?
For a third time, this little bolt of red light shoots out from Starsha's finger, and a fire erupts just on the edges of the bush, right to the left of this will-o-wisp. Will-o-wisps have an armor class of 19.
That's rude.
Anything else?
I'll come up a little closer.
Okay.
They have like a crazy high dexterity, don't they?
Yes. Their dexterity is 28.
Holy shit!
They have a +9 to dex.
Wow.
Okay, Starsha, that's your turn. Tox. It is you.
I'm gonna point at the remaining one. These stupid little fucking things. Just start screaming at him in vicious mockery.
What kind
So
of
wisdom
damage is
save.
that?
Not much. It's 1d4.
Yeah, but what kind
Psychic.
of damage is it? Psychic. Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, they don't have a mouth, but it's wisdom.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18.
All right. Then nothing happens.
No damage.
Nope. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Aranor.
I'm gonna move to here.
Okay. You didn't want to move into flanking and get a bonus?
No, I wanna have Moss and Taladar close to me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna swing.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is going to miss. Any bonus action?
Nope. I'm done.
Okay, well, it is this wisp's turn, and you guys are so generous to gather around me in AoE radius.
Uh-oh.
You love to do it. Unfortunately, this thing is going to... It is going to move. Aranor, straight through. No, Moss, it is going to move straight through you. And it will come out the other side and reappear right in front of Starsha, whom it will then zap.
Of course it does.
Oh, but I rolled a natural 1. So nothing happens. It goes to flare up. It's covered in lightning, but nothing happens.
Nice.
It is not floating in the air very well at all. You get the sense it's on its last leg.
Like,
That is now Taladar's turn.
Yeah, Taladar is done with this shit. He's going to mutter an elven curse and point a finger at it and cast magic missile at first level.
Okay.
For a total of 15 points of damage.
This missile comes shooting out, spiraling through the air. It's at point blank, right in the center, and it drops to the ground before disappearing. We are out of combat.
He's not very happy that the druid's a better wizard than he is with that stupid wand.
I mean, you just did do 15 points of damage on.
That's fair. I mean, on the flip side, he's very happy that the druid is able to do as much damage as he can.
So, defeating the will-o-wisps, they leave nothing behind. They are just wispy balls of light.
Hmm.
Can we just kind of search around the area, see if we see anything?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
I'll give you a guidance.
What's okay? So 15.
This is a really nice area. The air is fresh. You're still just along the road. You don't see anybody else coming north or south. Well, you see nothing.
Okay.
So
Being
dusting off. Go ahead.
being the suspicious sort, and and really having no idea what these things were, Taladar is just going to ask around, sort of ask out loud. Do we think these are a sign, or just a lurking denizen of the area?
So you said I would have known about these from reading. Like, what do I know about them?
You know that they not only are they really hard to hit, they're sort of immune to a lot of different statuses. They are resistant to most types of damage. Force is not one of them. And they tend to be associated with death. They look like lanterns, bobbing lanterns in the distance. They have been known to change color or wink out completely.
I guess what I was wondering is, like, do I know anything to answer Taladar's question?
You don't get a sense that they're related to anything. You've read that they, swampy areas, they are common in the Feywild. They tend to hang around the dead. But they can be found just about anywhere. So you don't necessarily think they're related.
Right. So I tell Taladar that these are dead things that are common, likely nothing to do with our venture.
Well, now they're a little deader.
Put everyone back on the main map. So after brushing off the dust of combat, you continue on your way, I assume.
Yep.
All right. You resume your trek down the Cairn Road. And after about another hour, you think you've reached the area that the shepherd told you about. It is mostly flat grassland here. To the north, the hills begin to rise and roll away from you. And it does look like where you're standing, there is something up on the ridge, not too far away.
Does it look like one of the cairns?
Everybody give me a perception check.
Would you mind pinging on the map whereabouts we're at? Thank you.
I don't see shit.
Most of us see about that same shit.
Yeah, you guys look around. You see some hills, and there's not a whole lot else. Starsha and Moss both can make out 4 distinct sort of lumps on the top of this ridge, not too far away, 100 feet up.
Love.
All right, I put him in the group and head off towards him.
Okay. Moss.
This is what we're looking
begins-
for.
Moss begins climbing up the side of this hill towards what he has pointed out to be the cairns that you are looking for. Upon reaching the top of the hill, you do indeed see four cairns. They are small piles of stone. There is a large pile of earth. You assume that's been scraped out to form the shallow basins for whatever lies beneath these piles of stones.
You know, I don't think we ever asked. I just kind of assumed that cairn is going to be like a burial cairn.
Yep.
All right, can I poke around?
Make an investigation check.
I put a party marker on the map, Dark, that you can just move around at will to indicate where we're at.
9 in total.
9 in total. Yeah, these look like burial cairns. You might have seen one before. They're not really common. Most people prefer to be interred either in the earth or burned. These look like they're relatively hastily put together, and any large scavenger would probably be able to easily get at them. There is a smell of death in the air.
I tell the group that I smell. That's what I smell.
Well, that's encouraging. Do these look as new as the shepherd said they were, or do they look like they were perhaps magically moved here?
Make an investigation check.
Oh, I can do that. I will give myself guidance.
Okay.
I don't have guidance.
I mean, I'm giving you guidance.
I don't think I need it, but Are
With
you-
an 18, with an 18, I would say you can easily tell that these have been thrown together in probably the past week. The overturned earth, the pile that has been dug out, still looks fresh. It hasn't been, washed away by rains. These are no more than 2 weeks old.
Oh, does it look like they're what do you call it? Does it look like they were built to have a body placed upon them and burned, or does it look like they were built to cover a body?
It looks like they're built to cover a body.
Oh. Well, I think we should uncover the bodies. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right?
It could be the caravan members, or some of them.
I feel like this is more ceremonial in nature, but it could be anything. Regardless, I fear there's danger beneath these stones. We should be prepared.
More
So
zombies.
are you going to uncover them?
Yes.
Will anybody bring a shovel?
They're not buried. It's a pile of rocks covering a body.
Oh.
So, beginning on the closest cairn, you guys begin to one by one pull the rocks away. And after doing this for a few minutes, you uncover the body of what looks like a male dwarf. He is
Ooh.
dressed in kind of fancy robes. The coat that he's wearing has embroidered on one of the lapels a symbol of a red axe. Everybody make a history check for me, please.
What check?
History.
History.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not on the dwarf, it's on another body. But you know that this is, well, Taladar knows beyond a shadow of a doubt, that a red axe on a black surcoat is the symbol of Mirabar's army.
Mm.
The dwarf appears to be, after looking at some of his other paraphernalia, appears to be a smith from Mirabar, which you know is a dwarven city. It's not exclusively dwarves, but it is a dwarven city. If you continue to uncover bodies, are you uncovering more?
Yes.
I think we should. Carefully and watching them closely.
Yeah, so the in the cairn next to this one, there is a human warrior who's dressed in a black surcoat with a red axe on it, indicating he is a warrior in service to Mirabar's army. The third cairn contains, looks like a human warrior. The armor is very similar to the priest that you encountered in the Tomb of Moving Stones. He's wearing a black cloak. He's got this strange stony armor. And on the center of his cloak, or sorry, on the edge of his cloak, the cloak pins are engraved with a triangle with a stick in the middle of it. You all recognize this symbol. You have seen it carved into the foreheads of the bodies in the Tomb of Moving Stones. And Starsha, you recognize this as being the same symbol on your map.
I was about to say, if I pull out my map, will I recognize anything?
Yeah, that symbol is identical to the one that is on the map.
No, I mean landscape-wise. Like, is this? Would
No,
this area been?
It looks like your map is of something most likely underground. It doesn't
Okay.
look like it is a surface map.
Okay.
Moving on to the last cairn, you uncover it to find, again, what looks like a human male in white robes, although they're now quite dirty, having been in the earth, with a large amount of black feathers at the shoulder. It looks like he's got a cloth, silk, maybe, stole, and embroidered on the ends of it is another symbol. And I will show you what it looks like. I will just put it in Discord. Kind of a similar design to the symbols that you've seen previously. The triangle with the stick in it. This triangle seems to be inverted with sticks coming out of it. So looking at the bodies, they look like they've all died from arrow wounds. Some of them look like they've won. The human warrior from Mirabar looks like he had his skull crushed. The rest have just the arrow wounds, crushing blows, slashing marks. You're not quite sure why all of these different bodies are buried here.
I'm assuming in our unearthing of these bodies, like you're including in thorough investigation, and there's nothing on them, like they've been picked through, they're just buried in their
Yes, in what
clothing.
they were wearing. Yeah.
No weapons, no identifying documents, nothing of value on them. Okay.
Nothing of value on them. But looking around the area, you now notice, all of you, trampled earth. There's a collection of broken arrows sticking out of the ground in places. A large amount of tracks of booted feet, it looks like. A broken and discarded javelin. And what looks like a part of a tattered gray cloak.
Oh, so the battle took place here. The tracks. Go ahead, Bri.
The dwarf male, he had the red axe symbol as well? The first Cairn?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's different from the warriors, so it indicates he's from Mirabar.
So dwarf male, red axe, human male with red axe, human male with one triangle with a stick from before, human male with white robe and black feathers with the new symbol.
Yeah, so there's a human warrior in black with the stony armor and the triangle with a stick in it. And then there's a human male in a white robe with black feathers that has on his stole an upside down triangle with sticks coming out of it.
Got it. Sorry, Deeves.
You're fine.
What were we going to say, Dave?
I was going to say, did the tracks lead off somewhere that we can follow?
They seem to head in a few different directions.
Okay.
Some of them go off, looks like towards the north, and then sort of disappear. Others head farther to the west, but then seem to sort of peter out, and they're hard to pick up again. Looking around, let's see.
Now, what I kind of want to know is who buried them.
That's kind of what I was
Not quite
pondering
sure.
as well.
Because it looks like there's tracks that lead away in a couple of different directions. So you don't know if did they come to a truce and decide to pull away, or yeah, you're not quite sure what's happened here.
I mean, from the other caves, it seems like the Dwellers and whatever,
Oh, the
they're
Delvers
not
and
real
the
intent
Believers?
on Delvers and Believers. Thank you. They're not really real intent on burying people not of their kind. You know, because of the rats and the bodies we found there.
Mm-hmm. Starsha and Moss, give me perception checks. Both of you notice in the distance, you can just make out what looks like the town of Red Larch to the west and north a bit. It's very small from this point. You can make out a thin sort of dark line that looks like it's probably the Long Road. And then several miles to the north, you can see, looks like a really slender tower piercing the sky. And you can see, looks like large birds maybe circling it.
Do any of the tracks lead to the tower?
Some of the tracks lead generally to that direction. The ones that sort of, they step away and then disappear.
And where do the other tracks go?
They sort of spread out to the west before petering off and becoming difficult to pick up again.
That might be worth investigating.
To the north or to the west?
Tower.
The tower.
Do the birds around the tower look like scavengers?
You can't really tell. It's quite a distance away. But you would assume, based on the size of the tower, those are probably very large birds.
Well, we could have a wander nearby. And it wouldn't hurt for us to learn a little more about this area. Perhaps there's someone there who, if we can see the tower from here, they can see these cairns from there. Perhaps somebody, a lookout or someone saw something. A battle, perhaps, that resulted in these cairns. And if not, maybe a good spot to have lunch.
Yeah, it is approaching noon now. But we have also hit the 3-hour mark. So we can either stop there.
Yeah, I can
Or-
stop.
I think that's a good
Okay.
stopping point, actually. It's a good spot.
Okay.
Do we want to, before we part ways, do we want to talk about what we're going to do next? Is the tower our target, or?
I think so, yeah.
That seems the most interesting to investigate, yeah.
Whereabouts on the map would the tower be, Dark? Would it be like somewhere around up
It's
here,
like-
or? Okay.
It is generally this direction.
And how far is it to Belliard?
From where you are?
Yeah, like let's say we hiked our way up to the tower, maybe made it there, late afternoon, early evening. If we camped in the hills, could we make it to Belliard the next day?
Not the next day, probably early the day after.
And would we know anything about the hills themselves? Like, is it did we hear anything in town about it being dangerous, or is the large path well traveled, or?
The large path is relatively well traveled. Obviously, not as much as the long road. But yeah, you've heard all kinds of dangerous things: weird weather, people disappearing.
Okay, so that's all up in the Summer Hills then. Where
Yeah,
all that.
well, it's in the entire Desserin Valley, but yes.
Hmm. Well, so spending some time up in the hills might lead us to encounter and solve other local issues as well.
Remember?
Sorry.
The constable told you that, briefly, that dwarves came here, millions of years ago, however many years ago, long time, and built outpost settlements, shit like that. And then something happened. Not sure what. The dwarves left, and after some time, humans moved in, and humans put up some keeps in the area, for safety, protection, because I think orcs rolled through at some point. But they put up a bunch of keeps, and then eventually the humans moved on.
Damn humans.
And then, settled in towns in the area. So you would assume that there's probably abandoned, broken down keeps in the area. Or places of old dwarven settlements. But those would most likely be underground. Dwarves don't usually settle on the surface.